Welcome to Live Courageous Podcast. We are in episode 4 in this series. So today's title is Building a Courageous Legacy. That's our theme. And so we're going to talk about living, leading, and building with eternity in mind. So we're celebrating Black History Month. This is our month. And so this falls right in line with this. So we're going to talk about the types of legacy that there are, okay? There's a famous quote I have. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live a nation where they will not be judged by their color of their skin, but by the content of their character. That's by Martin Luther King. So we have some different types of legacy. We have like a family name. So my dad's from West Africa, Sierra Leone, and his dad had 30 wives. Whoa. And so he has multiple children. And his dad took a surname. So my dad had his dad's first name and his last name. But what was so interesting, my dad always talked about having your name. Your name is most important. I didn't know that was legacy at that time. It was really interesting because he says your name is what is being passed down. And so you have to, carry that legacy. And the reason why my grandfather had 30 wives is because he was a chief, by the way. So he was a chief in his village. So he had 30 wives. So that was pretty interesting. So again, this was passed down to me that we must carry our family name and with highmost respect and things like that. So you also have financial legacy, and passing out your real estate, your asset, to your heirs and to some organizations if you choose to do that. They have also character and value legacy. So that is also bringing your beliefs to your children, your grandchildren, and your ethics, because that matters. And so this is how you raise your family as life goes on, and they pass it on to their children. And then you have social legacy, which is, having positive change through clarity. And we can volunteer in our community, so that's socially giving back. And then you pass that on to your children so they can do the same thing. They pass it on to their grandchildren. So it's very impactful. So intellectual legacy also is leaving behind books or arts or interventions for your family and people there to come later on for continual education. So we're going to talk about legacy today. I have a guest. Her name is Letitia Randolph. Welcome her here today. I'm going to tell you about her. She is a multi-speaker with Toastmasters. She's gone to multiple levels in speaking. She is a pastor's executive pastor assistant. She is also an entrepreneur, and her business is Legal Shield. Yes, her business is Legal Shield.
I'm independent representative of Legal Shield.
Yes, independent representative of Legal Shield. So you guys, if you don't know about Legal Shield, look her up. Yes, she can help you out with that. All right, Letitia, what does legacy really mean to you?
Well, I think it's really interesting, all the things that you just mentioned. I had not thought about them in all those ways. I have thought about the name. So you're passing your name down, which is why we tell our children, listen, when you leave this house, you represent the Randolph family, the Randolph name. And I also think of that in a spiritual aspect as well. I represent God's name. So anything and everything that I do is going to be related to him because I'm connected to him. So my family and then the Christian family, like I'm representing all of us while I'm out there. So I do my best to treat people right and to keep in mind where my higher accountability is. So I had not thought about all of the things that you can leave behind. You think about a legacy, I typically think about inheritance, money, the things that you were saying on real estate. You're passing this down along the lines, but there's also the intellectual one that you said. I was like, yes. And that's why I have like 5 books that I want to write.
All right. Okay.
And I want to get them out. And it's one of the reasons why I don't know if they have a digital legacy now. They should say digital.
Right.
Because I am always on camera. That's why you said, well, you come to my podcast? Yes, I like being on camera. Yes. But I'm on camera. I'm singing. I'm preaching. I'm talking. And hopefully YouTube will still be around 1,000 years from now.
That would be
But I started my channel because of that.
Wow. Okay.
I wanted to make sure that I was leaving a video footprint, a legacy, if you will, of who I am. And so after the Lord takes me home, I hope, after 150 years or something. I always try to go over the age.
The age limits, right.
I go way, way over so I don't say something like you're going to die tomorrow. But I like to... I said I need to start my channel so that after I'm gone, I'm still here.
For sure.
So that's what I think about when I think about legacy is what you're leaving behind that keeps you alive when you're gone.
That's really true.
And in all the ways that you said.
Yeah.
So my family, so laughter is a legacy in our household.
That's a good
We're
one.
always laughing and having fun. And I know that the children from the Randolph household, shout out to my husband, I call him Deacon Baby, Charles Randolph.
Yes.
Our children, because of him, because he's way funnier than I am, I'm right behind him.
Okay.
We have stapled laughter and joy into our family. So when they remember our house, they might not, sometimes it's not clean, sometimes it is. We're like back and forth on clean and dirty, right? Okay,
hey,
that's like the
life.
Of the family.
Life is life, right?
They might remember that.
Yeah.
They might remember some of the good meals I made. They might remember some of the ups and downs, but they will always remember joy and laughter as a part of their childhood. There have been times when we were disciplining them and we were trying to be serious.
Yes.
And we ended up laughing.
Oh, wow.
and busted out and laughing because it was so stupid. Whatever they were doing, we're like, oh my gosh, we're trying to be this, strong parent. And then we're just like, you know what, forget it. Just don't do it again.
Right.
And we moved on. But a legacy could be a laughter, like part of what you said with the character and it's who you are and what you're leaving behind as that legacy. And that's important.
Yes.
It's one of the reasons why we should really do our best to do our best.
That is so
How
true.
will you be remembered if we don't know when our day comes when we're not going to be here?
Right.
Are you satisfied with what you've done so far? And if not, today you could change that. You could decide, I'm going to make a flip.
Yes.
And what a better story even if you had a bad start and you could turn it around and start again.
That is so true. And that was some of the things we were going to talk about. That's really good because you're going to kind of give them practical information on how they can do that. Because sometimes some people don't know how to even start, And like in my case, I never even knew there was such thing as a legacy. I just knew you need to keep your name and that was it. It was never taught. That was, this is my legacy that you're carrying, So that word never was thrown out. So there can be people out here today that don't know what that looks like. And so we're going to break that all down with the questions where we'll talk through those and then you can give them more insight of how can they put practical information to play. Good. Okay. So why does obedience matter more than moments when it comes to legacy?
Obedience, like to God? Or?
To God, to anything, just whatever you think, like you said, the laughter was your obedience. To continue that legacy because you identify that. So why is that? Why did you think that was so important to continue that?
The legacy laughter or laughter of legacy?
Yeah, laughter of legacy.
Think, joy is just important in your life. So I think that we shouldn't take everything so seriously. For sure. But when it comes to obedience, you said your main question was, why is obedience more important
than the legacy?
Than the legacy?
To put it into legacy. Because you were obedient to say, this is our legacy. You said laughter is part of us, the Randall family. So then you continue to do that. There was not a point you probably said, I'm not going to do that, even though you were trying to, discipline your children, you still laughed with it. So that was pretty
so maybe if we just were to think about like, there is a scripture that says that, I forget how it goes all the way, but it basically says that when there's a scripture about inheritance. I don't know if you know what it is. It's like your good children does such and such, but they leave a good inheritance for their family.
Yes.
I think that we should be obedient to God's way of not neglecting the life that we have. I think it's negligent to just live wildly and not consider what it means to God and what it means to your family.
Right.
For us not to think about the next generation, right? But we got to think about that. Okay, and then maybe you don't, if you don't have children, that's a different thing, but you can leave legacy in different ways.
That's what I was gonna say, yes.
But if you do have children,
Yes.
even if it's just one, and that, hopefully they'll pass it down, you know,
Right.
somebody else will have the kids and go down. What do you want your family to continue to be or to be known as? Or if it hadn't started, it could start with you.
Yeah.
And you can say, you know what, starting with us.
Yeah.
Because I've had that. There have been some really dark things that have happened in my family before my generation. And I told my cousins, I am the oldest grandchild. I'm the oldest child. So I'm kind of the boss in a way.
Okay.
They know it. I would say I've led the way.
Yes.
I'm significantly older than most of my cousins. So I was first. You're just first in that way.
So you had some leadership
I
going on.
told them when I saw some of the struggles and things that happened at the other level, I said, that stops over there.
Wow. Okay.
From this level down,
Yes.
we're communicating, we're loving, we're not being petty,
Yes.
we're not abusing each other. Because some of the stuff that they do, I'm like, is this what we want?
Wow.
Not from Letitia down,
Right.
and not from Letitia's family down. It's important that we don't carry things that don't belong
Yes.
in the legacy down. Just stop it. It stops here. And
That's good.
for those who are listening or watching, that could be you too. You could say, you know what? We're gonna change that now.
Yeah.
Because abuse,
Yeah.
especially in the Black community,
Yeah.
that stuff was swept under the rug. You
That's for
can't
sure.
tell nobody. You can't call the police.
Yeah.
You gotta love that person anyway, and you should love them. But
Yes.
all this stuff where they're secretive and all,
No.
not from Letitia down.
That's good. Because you sound like you identify these things. So just personally, if you remember, how old were you when you clicked and said, no, from this age on down, we're not doing this?
I think it was 30s. I'm 46.
Okay.
I look good, right?
Yeah.
The grays are hidden. I think it was in the 30s because there was a little bit of just stupid turmoil stuff that was happening in the family and dumb stuff. It's usually dumb people arguing about nothing,
Right.
not talking for not a real reason.
Right.
I always tell my family, I tell my kids, I tell my friends, I'm always talking.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff that we think is important now is not important when something major happens.
That's so true.
You'll wake up in the morning, like for instance, someone said this podcast thing, I love podcasts I listen to, he said, you might wake up in the morning with all these priorities. Like maybe you had a meeting and you had a show and you had all this and you walk out the door in the winter and you slip on the ice and you break your leg. Now the show, the meeting, all that, none of that is priority anymore because you have a broken leg.
Yes.
And so now that stuff can wait. And you thought it was so important until it wasn't anymore. And the things that we argue about and that we fight about, we think that's important until somebody dies. And then something happens. And then now we have regrets.
Wow.
Because we didn't fix the problems that were small enough to fix.
Yes.
And instead of living with regrets, we could just solve it.
Yes.
We could just say, you know what, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's not that important.
big.
I think the older we get and the more people pass away and the more things happen and circumstances change in our lives, hopefully we're getting more mature as we age.
Right.
Then we realize the stuff that we thought was so important is no longer important. And so I think I think we need to just evaluate as we continue to grow in life and say, what is important? What do I want to happen? And what are the things I want to, like you are talking about here, or we're talking about, leave behind?
Leave behind,
And then what do I not want to take on?
That's so true.
Get rid of the dead weight. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, lay aside every weight and sin that does so easily beset us.
Yes.
It'll stop us. It'll entangle us and stop
You're
us
not gonna
from
get anywhere.
being able to go somewhere because we're carrying all this stuff.
Yes. It's not for us to carry.
Put that away.
Yeah.
Put that down.
Yeah. That makes
Stay
sense.
light.
Yeah. That's some good value. That is some good value. But, I appreciate that you were able to identify that at, the age that you were.
Yeah, it's 30-something.
30-something.
35.
Yeah, but sometimes it takes us 60 years old,
I hope. Listen, y'all don't take till 60 unless you're 60 today. If you're in your 20s and 30s, just listen to us today. Don't
Right.
wait.
Right.
You tell me. Okay, I know it's your show, but let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Can I do that?
Yes, go for
Okay.
it.
Do you think that around 35 is when you really started saying, this is who I am, this is what I like, this is not what, I don't like this, I like that? You feel like you kind of grew into that? I feel like that's the age for women, like mid-30s. You're like, wait a minute. This is who I am. I know this is my belly.
Yeah.
If I'm not the size I want to be, oh well, I can work on it or not. But I'm gonna love me for me. I'm gonna put my little blazer, my lipstick on. We're gonna go.
Yeah. I appreciate you said 30s. It took me till 40s. I'm a late.
Okay, that's
I'm
not
a late
too much
thinker.
further.
Yeah. Not too much.
But you mean
further.
there's like this point in your life where you really say, "This is me,
yeah.
everybody."
Yes. And you had to identify those things about you that you like, because we sometimes we live in a shadow of somebody else, and we really don't know what it looks like. And so that's pretty good information, because at the end of the day, once you realize that, that's a light bulb that like goes off and say, "Wow, this is stuff that I didn't know, but now I can work towards that."
Yeah, this is
and
what
that's
I love
the
about
aha
me.
moment. Yeah, that's
it's
what
like
we're talking
and
about.
then I'm gonna tell you what happens. And this is a part of the speech that took me to the top with Toastmasters. Is this quote? And there's a scripture. Okay, I'm a scripture Bible girl. So
Yes.
there you go. You like it or not?
We are both
There's
of
a lot
us.
of wisdom in the Bible.
Yes.
Because God is the
That's
creator
God.
of wisdom.
Yeah. He gives us the same wisdom.
Yeah,
So,
and he won't criticize us.
Yes.
Upbraid is the
Yes.
word in King James Version.
Yes.
Upbraid means to criticize. That's a pretty fun word.
Okay, yes.
There's a quote by Mariam Williamson, and Nelson Mandela said it as well. It's a part of a poem. It says that when we shine our light, we unconsciously give others permission to do the same. And the scripture in the Bible that coincides with that is Matthew chapter 5, verse 16. In the King James Version, it says, "Let your light so shine in such a way that men will see." Before men, let your light so shine before men. Where's before? In front of. Before men, that they will see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Okay, so if I shine, then and people see that, then now they're giving glory to their Creator, and it's all connected. When I don't shine, then what happens?
Is you're going to be a dull light.
Yeah,
You're
and
not
that doesn't,
shining.
and you can't see it when it's dark.
No.
We need to shine, and so when I am me, in my full self, and this happens a lot because people tell me things. I'll meet strangers. They'll tell me their whole life story. I'm like, I don't know why I'm telling you this. Oh, I know why.
You're drawn to me. Come on,
Because
buddy.
I'm authentic and I'm myself.
Yes.
And when that happens, people feel comfortable to be themselves, even if they're still working on something. They don't feel like you're gonna. And here's the difference between. I told you I could talk forever. There's a difference between judging and condemning.
Yes, condemning.
The people say, "Oh, don't judge me." They really mean don't condemn me. Because judgment is something we do all the time.
For sure.
They don't feel like they're going to be condemned, and they feel like this is a safe place. We should be a safe place for people to be themselves, no matter where they're at in life. And if they want to get better, we can help them do that. And if they don't, we'll just love them and keep it moving.
That's it. And that's what Jesus did, right?
Yep.
So we go back to his example.
Yep.
Then you can't go wrong.
And look at his legacy.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot in the Bible of legacy. Oh my goodness.
I mean, think about Jesus. His legacy still lives on today. His name is famous.
Yes.
Everybody knows who you're talking about, whether they just decide to believe in him or not, or follow him or not. They know who he is.
Yes, that's it.
They know what he stood for. They know where to find his story.
Yeah.
It's
a choice.
It's a great legacy. He had a leadership legacy, healing, how to deal with people, how to connect with God, the kingdom of heaven. I mean,
all of it. All of it.
It's all in there.
So we have examples. If we look really and be intentional in looking, we can find those same examples in the Bible and just follow it.
Yeah.
Even if you don't have a roadmap. After today's message, if you don't have a roadmap, go to the Bible. It's right there.
Basic instructions before leaving Earth.
Yes.
They're in there. The Bible's full of so much wisdom.
It is.
So many examples of what to do and what not to do.
Yes. And we just have to be obedient. And so that's kind of that.
We were talking about obedience.
Yes, we were talking about
better
obedience.
than sacrifice.
It's better than sacrifice. So when you're obedient, you can go a long way. There's more opportunity for you than being disobedient. You're not going to get anything.
There's a blessing.
And everybody's going to suffer.
Yeah,
you know?
There's a blessing in obedience. Because if God is telling you to do something, you do it the way He says, and it's going to fall out the way He wants it to fall out. When we move out of it, Now we're dealing with the consequences of it and trying to get ourselves back together.
Yes.
But if we're willing and obedient,
Yes.
the Bible, I think it's in Deuteronomy,
Yes.
it says we'll eat the good of the land.
Yep.
Well, what happened with Saul when he was disobedient and thought that he was doing what God said?
Yes.
And then he got rejected as king. It shook up everything.
Yes.
Now you're rejected as king. You were on your way to leadership, and now I'm sorry, I can't use you anymore. There are consequences to obedience.
Yes.
Disobedience.
And then his legacy, like we're talking about,
was affected.
It just went
that's
along
a good
with it.
tie-in,
That was a
Lucidity.
good one. That was a good. Everything just kind of went downhill.
Right.
Including his grandchildren.
Right.
So it's really important to look back at our lives because we are the pillar, wherever you are. It can be, you're the middle child, you're the oldest child, you're the youngest. You are the pillar because you're going to affect other people down the road. That was good. That was really good. So we're going to talk about legacy versus popularity, because again, Jesus wasn't popular. We know that. So why does popularity feel louder than legacy? Our day and time.
Maybe because of the instant gratification of it.
Makes sense.
Like, it seems like that's great. And I think you could be popular and build your legacy.
True.
But I mean, it depends on what you mean by popular. If popular means liked by everybody, then no.
Yeah.
But
and usually that's what it is in our society. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
I got to show my light. I got to see, everybody has to see what I'm doing. Well, that's not
well,
what it
I
is.
do believe in shining your light.
Yeah, but
I
we're
think
talking
you should
about
shine
like,
your light and be
Yeah.
seen.
yeah,
But a lot
we're
of
talking
times
about boastful like.
Oh, for the sake of just because they're
people-
usually that's because of
yeah.
insecurity.
Yes.
Because they're
Yeah.
trying to make it. But if we're but there's the opposite of that where
Yeah.
people they're shying away instead of shining. We need you to shine, not shy
Right,
away.
not shy away,
Because people need to see God's people
Yeah.
doing well.
Yeah.
They need to see that. And sometimes we think that we're not supposed to be seen and we're not. So I do agree that we should be seen, but not
Yeah.
necessarily for the sake of just being popular.
Popular, yeah.
For instance, like when people are talking about all the stuff that's happening online that's controversial, you won't find me joining that crowd. I don't join that crowd
Yeah.
because, and I think this goes with popular versus, you're supposed to say something, you're supposed to do this. Not on social media, I'm not. You want to talk to me, we can have coffee.
Right.
But I'm not going to join in with this, with anything that's ungodly.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not that person. I'm with God.
Yes.
And I heard this one time. What is right is not always popular, and what is popular is not always right.
That's correct.
Say it one more time.
Yeah.
What? Because someone's writing this down.
Yeah.
What is right is not always popular, and what is popular is not always right. So I'm not interested in popular if it's not right.
Right. There you go. And that's what it is.
And nor am I
that's what we need to
interested
see.
in popular for the sake of just being popular. I do like to shine. I do like people. I do
Yes.
like being online and all that stuff. I do like to be on stage, and I
Yeah.
like the microphone. I like to talk.
Yeah.
But all that still brings glory to God, because the way
There
I'm
you
going to
go.
do it is going to bring glory to God.
Yes.
But to your point, why does it feel louder? I think it's because you might get a crowd behind you, even if you're not right. They're behind you. They're cheering you on. They got pom poms, and it feels like it feels good. Maybe that's one of the answers. It feels good,
And that's what let them continue. So they need to have the cheerleading effect, I guess. Is that kind of what you're saying? So they can continue to do that.
I think
that good
people
work.
feel like popular. It probably feels fun.
Yeah.
And it feels like maybe they feel like that's where they're getting the support.
Could be.
And a lot of times what you'll find is those who are really building something, you may not see it right away.
Yes.
And then it seems like they popped up out of the dark, out of nowhere. Where did this person come from? But they've been working all along, and then boom. And you're like, well, so for instance, with my speaking skills,
Yes.
that started when I was younger. They made us talk at church. We were
You had
at
to get
11 years old. You had to do like a
speech.
little mini speeches,
yeah.
mini sermons. We had to do 3-minute.
wow.
We called them mini speakers, which is funny because one of my friends like a mini speaker. We had to speak for 3 minutes at like 10 and 11. Get a scripture. Give a short sermon in front of the whole church, a couple hundred people.
Wow.
So that started way back then, singing. I'm a singer. I started way back when I was little, and you got all these years of being in front of crowds, of talking, being on the mic, and then I joined Toastmasters in 2017, which is almost 10 years ago.
Wow.
I'm giving speeches. I'm getting evaluated. They're telling me all the things that I need to work on.
For sure.
You talk too fast.
Yeah.
They told me
tell you that.
you go on too many tangents. Oh, you think they hear me now like, oh, she's I don't have a lot of filler words. I hope I don't have too many. I said a couple, I heard them, but you won't hear a lot of them because I've been practicing. And they've been counting them. They told me about them. And then they said, don't talk under the podium. And you're on too many tangents. You're telling us stuff we don't need to know about your speech. You need to stay in the subject. Start with the story. All these things that I learned. And here I am every first, third, and fifth Tuesday at Toastmasters learning while someone else is doing whatever. And then you see me on the big stage, but you didn't realize that the first year I only went up to level 2 and I got second place, so I didn't move on. They don't realize that there was a whole nother year and a whole other preparation, then a third year, and then all the stuff that you do in between. They don't see that.
They don't see that.
They see this, what they think is a finished product, not realizing that someone's been building this all along. And then you try to compare yourself. Because you think, well, she's doing so good. Why can't, and I'm saying she like anybody. So if she's doing so good, why can't I be like that? You might need to start 20 years ago to be like that.
For
So
sure.
don't worry about all the other people. My good friend Darnell Self says, me versus me.
That's it. You're only in competition with yourself.
So how am I this year? How am I the next year? What am I going to do to improve me? And that's what I've been working on. So when they see me, they're seeing an accumulation of years of work. How do I pray and forgive and love and overlook and move on and talk and confront because of the years of going to church and the years of Bible study and the years of praying and the years of experience and the years of being mistreated and misunderstood. And you learn, hopefully we're learning from these things. We learn from them and it builds you, which is part of what you said with the character. We're building character. Every time something happens to us, we're faced with the opportunity to build or to destroy.
That's some good stuff, because you already answered the next question, which was, what does it mean to build when no one's watching? And you just answered that question, just tied back into that.
I didn't even see it. It's over there. I didn't even see it.
You did a wonderful job. So again, how do you build that character is where she says you have to do the groundwork, the backward stuff. People are not going to watch you. You're going to do that in private by yourself. But you do have to have those set goals. It sounds like you were already making those things work for you because you had goals, not just, okay, I'm going to do Toastmasters. You knew I have to go on first and fifth Thursdays or whatever the dates were, the days that you had to go. So you had a build up on all of those, and you had to have practice, write your speech out, because you have to speak the speech in front of them.
And so time limits.
And you have time limits. You have to practice that before you even, present it to the team. So this is really good stuff. So people cannot compare themselves to what you've already done, because again, comparison is a killer. So you're not going to move
forward. Thief of joy, they say.
It's a thief of joy. And so you're never going to move ahead if you're comparing yourself to someone else all the time.
It's not a fair metric anyway.
It's not a fair metric. Exactly.
Yeah, you got to look at yourself and see, what can I do better? I was going to say, what was I going to say? Yeah, if someone is taking their time to compare themselves to someone else, they don't really ever look at themselves to see what they need to work on. It's just not a fair comparison.
No, and it's never going to work. You're going to defeat yourself before you even start.
You got to work on you.
And it's a mindset. It really is a mindset, and that's in everything. So anything new that you start, don't get discouraged. Keep trying. Again, failures is really what you want, because you're going to learn from that lesson. And you keep going and see how you can make it different.
Yeah, now I remember what I wanted to say a second ago. When I see somebody that has accomplished many things, maybe they've made a big amount of money, or they've maybe gotten a record deal, or they're doing a podcast. I mean, people are doing all kinds of things out there. I see them, and instead of comparing myself to them, I choose to be inspired by them. To say, if Musadeen could start a podcast and come out here, can I tell him your studio here with Mr.
Wilson?
Luther Wilson comes out here to this professional, wonderful podcast studio. If she can do that, hey, that means I can learn from her. I can ask her questions, and I could choose to do it too. After I do a little bit of research, maybe I want to start a podcast, and she knows how to do it. But other times they're like, well, she thinks she's all that because she started a podcast. That's the wrong attitude.
And
we need
jealousy.
a notebook. Yeah, that's not going to get you anywhere.
No.
Get the notebook, sisters. Get the notebook, brothers. Start writing, asking questions. Find out what they did. Most people that are successful, most successful people are really good with people. And they're more than willing to tell you what they did, and you can learn from their mistakes. So you don't even have to do them. Like,
That's
now listen,
true.
let me tell you,
Yes.
when you do this,
Yes.
make sure
Yeah.
you don't wear
do
a
that.
dress when you come to the studio, because it's a little bit harder. This is a tip for all my people that want to be on the stage. Dresses are harder to mic up, okay? And I forgot. I put on this dress for something else. I was like, oh, we good, ran on the camera. I forgot, so I'm sorry, Mr. Wilson.
That's a good one.
It is good.
Yeah.
Usually, two pieces is better.
Yeah.
A jacket is
slide
better
it
because they
in.
can put it on the lapel. Just a little side tip for you. Stuff I learned along the way.
Yeah.
So you learn from my mistake. I forgot not to wear the dress today. I should have worn. Next time, I'll be back. Next time.
That's
But
a good one.
learn from others. Be willing to learn. There are books out there.
Yes.
YouTube is full of examples. But instead of being jealous, get the notebook, take some notes, ask some questions. And when you get the opportunity to meet someone that's doing great things, because she didn't talk about all the stuff she's doing, and she has a lot of different businesses and people she's helping and things she's done. You can ask one or two key questions to that person that will help you advance. Like, what would you do? What would be the first step that I would have to do if I wanted to start a podcast? What's your tip? What's the biggest lesson you learned? Things like that.
That's very good, because again, sometimes people are afraid to approach people because they don't want rejection.
Yeah.
So never be afraid of rejection. Again, if that one person says no, it's okay. Go to the next person.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is in life. You know, somebody might not support you, but somebody might give you 10 supports. You know, they know somebody and know somebody that pass you on to someone else. And so don't get discouraged after one no.
Yeah. Most of the time, they're not gonna reject you.
Yeah.
They'll answer your question.
Yes. Sometimes they just ignore you though. I've had that too.
Yeah, and like you said, but for every one, there's another 9
There's
or 10.
a 9 or 10, so you can keep going with that. Those are real good points, Letitia. Yeah.
Thank you.
So the contrast that we have between loud success and quiet obedience. Do you think there's a contrast between those two?
Loud success and quiet obedience. I think it's kind of what we just talked about a moment ago. There are times where you're doing the work in the background and it's not seen.
For sure.
And then there's a time when it's the revelation, the reveal time. So there are times if God is giving you something, like a lot of times if someone's writing a book, that's pretty quiet. They're writing.
Yeah.
You look up and I was like, I didn't know you wrote a book. One of my friends, I kept getting on her case. I'm not going to shout her out on here. She knows who she is. I said, when are you going to write the book, girl? You have she knows, you know who you are.
Yeah.
She says, she kept saying, one day coming. And one day I said to her, so when are you going to write that book? I'm an encourager, by the way.
There you go, cheerleader.
She said, I wrote it.
Oh.
And you're the first person I'm telling. And I was so honored.
Wow. So
And
she
I had
did
to keep
not
the
want nobody
secret.
to put her down. You know how people discourage you? So she probably kept it quiet until
she was done. I can't speak for her and what she's thinking, and I don't like to do that to people. But she did the work quietly, and now I'm waiting for the reveal. Should be pretty soon. I'm excited about her book.
amazing.
She did tell a circle of friends that she had the book ready, and then that it was written, and all we're doing now is just I have supported, but
good.
getting it all together so it can come out, be printed, and ready to go. And I am so excited. But that's an
amazing.
example of quiet obedience versus the loud success.
Yeah.
And it starts with the work. I think the work sometimes is quiet.
That's
The work that's going to build you is more quiet. It's the stuff that people don't see.
That's
like
right.
I'm at Bible study last night, and unless you're in my car, and or I took a picture and I put it on Facebook, but if I don't do that, you don't know I'm at Bible study.
Yeah, you don't know.
You didn't know I taught it last week.
Right.
You don't know that I was at a conference and learning and writing it down. I went to Columbia a couple weeks ago at my pastor for a leadership conference. That was absolutely amazing.
Oh, wow.
It was at a smaller church.
Okay.
When I tell you that content was rich,
Wow.
it was really good. I have note after note after note.
Amazing.
Unless I tell, and I didn't even post about that.
Right.
Unless I tell you, you didn't know I went there. And I got a whole, how many hours was I there? 4 or 5 hours worth of encouragement and knowledge and thoughts and intelligence that I didn't have before. Ways to think about, it was talking about ways that the church has changed over time.
Oh, yeah.
And what
That's a good
people
one.
think about as membership, and how do you handle the people that are coming in, and the thought process for those it was just there were so many things, but you wouldn't know unless I told you.
And that's what our society fails sometimes. We tell all our business, especially on social media. We got social media that's just, everybody has to know everything. But the quietness is really where the richness is.
I like being loud though.
Yeah. But,
I'm always telling people,
sometimes you got, like your friend that kept it a secret for a while. Because sometimes there's some people that want to discourage you. You try to tell people and they're like, well, why are you doing that? And
that means
like,
you might want to change the people you tell.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So again, you never know.
I'm pretty loud, y'all.
Yeah,
Do you see this red? Yes. I'm what they call a ruby sapphire. So the people that like, yes. If you ask me to do stuff, I'm going to do it. I'm the one that raises her hand when they ask for a volunteer.
Yeah.
Don't even know what they want. Yes, call on me. Yes.
But you already said you're a cheerleader, though. So again,
I'm a cheerleader. I'm a volunteer. I'm always raising my hand. One time I raised my hand, she's like, she doesn't even know what we're going to ask her to do. That's me. So I don't mind being loud.
Yes.
Because I feel like that, because there were times when I didn't completely dim my light. It's another part of the speech.
Yeah.
I didn't completely dim my light, but I pulled back.
Okay.
Because I was afraid of rejection.
I was going to say, okay.
And I was afraid of rejection at high levels.
Oh, okay.
Because growing up, I was a good student. I got straight A's a lot.
Yeah.
I am smart. I'm smart.
Yeah.
And there were people who they hate on you. You think you're all bad. You think the stuff that people say, which at that age, you don't know what to do with it. But as I got older, and I matured, and I got into that 35. I'm telling you, 35 was like, wait a minute. And this is when you said people did that to you.
Yeah.
My circle of influence and the people that were there, that changed when when the people that care and they see, when you know who you are, and you are working on yourself and you're competing with yourself, you don't have a problem with someone else having success.
Right. Right.
But those are the people I was hanging around.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Oh, you're dimming your light. You got more in you than you're giving. You got, why aren't you shining? What's going on here? And they pushed me.
They encouraged you.
To move forward, as opposed to the other ones that were like, you think that's the wrong crowd, unfortunately. But here's what I learned.
Yes.
Those are the people we pray for.
Those are the people.
Because there's something going on if you feel comfortable pulling someone else down. Something's not going on right with you.
Self-esteem.
There's all kinds of things. Who knows what it is? It could be experiences that they've had or whatever. And that's when I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put them on the list, what I call the prayer list. We're going to pray for them and hope that they will get what they need to move forward instead of pulling chains. Kind of like Nehemiah when he was on the wall. He's like, listen, I can't come down. I'm doing a great work.
Don't pull them down. Yes.
I can't come down. I'm doing a great work. That's what Nehemiah said. I like that.
Yeah. And so, but it takes a strong mindset to go and say these things and do those things and find the right people to be around you, because sometimes it's work. It is really work to find the right people, and you have to get out there and not just be in that corner, because some of us, we have the friends that we said these are our friends for life. People say that all the time, but these might not be the friends that really encouraging you. So you do have to make a choice on that.
Yeah.
So one of the things I like about the whole legacy thing, speaking of that, when I started my entrepreneur business model, however, back then I really didn't know it was legacy. I was just doing things because I wanted to help people, and I'm a nurse, and I just want to have that financial freedom, but I didn't know it was legacy at that time. But as time went on, when I said my 40s, I'm a late thinker, I guess. I was like,
40s is good. That's a whole nother.
That's another. Okay, that's another.
Era,
yeah. Okay, I like that.
40s are even better. I think it gets better every
year. It gets better. Yeah.
That's how I want to live my life.
Yes. And so when I finally realized it's called legacy, I was like, I need to teach my kids this. They might already knew what that legacy thing looks like, but I was just a worker. I just need to work. I need to get things done. So it's really a good thing that I identified that in my 40s that is legacy. So now I'm working really hard. I feel like I'm like behind the schedule, and I need to work on this legacy things for my children, the grandchildren, the next generation. So it's really cool that we're talking about this, because this is like hit home right here. This is things that we don't know we're doing. We might be doing it, but not saying that's a legacy. I'm teaching my kids X, Y, and Z or whatever that looks like, and they're going to pass it on to their kids and their kids and their kids. But I think once we identify it, you know what you're working towards. I think that's good stuff. So when did you realize your choices?
Can I say something before you did? Because I heard what you said.
Yeah.
You said you feel like you're behind.
Yeah.
Can I give you some?
Yeah,
can
go
I give
ahead.
some encouragement
Yes,
on that?
yes.
You're there. You can't be
Can't be
behind.
behind, yeah.
You're in real time.
Yes.
You're working in real time. So you're doing everything that you're doing right now. You don't have to catch up. You don't, because that's stress.
It is stressful.
That's weight.
Yes. Yes.
You're doing what you're doing right now. You go to do your best and keep on moving forward. Don't worry about trying to catch, because remember, it's you against you.
Yes, you get.
And I don't have anything to catch up to.
Yes.
Not that you shouldn't do your best.
Yes.
But don't fall for the I'm behind and because it just is what it is.
It is what it
and
is.
you are where you are.
Yeah.
And you're moving forward and you can move faster.
Well, that's
not
where,
for the sake of catching up.
Okay.
I wouldn't fall into that trap.
Yeah. Okay. I appreciate that because I'm moving faster.
You're moving in real time. You're moving in real time. And you don't want to go so fast that you miss stuff.
No, don't want to miss stuff.
No, just be impactful. I think it's more important to be impactful than to go fast.
That's true. That's true. I think I was thinking more on the financial side. I didn't start saving till recently. I was like, oh, I guess my kids need, legacy.
That's okay.
And so,
the Lord can bless you. The Lord can bless you so fast. There's a scripture in Amos, I think it's chapter 9. It says it's something along the lines of he'll bless you so fast that your head will spin.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He can do that because he can multiply. He can make things exponential. You think about people who like we talked about before, it seemed like it took forever, but a bamboo tree grows under the ground before it shoots up. So God can just take something that you're doing and almost overnight, he can bless it so big. So don't worry about that. You just stay with God and he'll do what he needs to do. You do your part, he does his, and you'll be fine.
I agree. I take that. There's a cheerleader in her again.
Yeah, I should have brought I have several pom-poms.
There's a cheerleader.
It doesn't have to take God long.
For sure.
He's outside of time anyway.
Yeah, he doesn't even have time.
Yeah, we think time.
I like that. Letitia, you are on it. Yeah.
Okay, to your next question. I took
okay, what, okay.
I just couldn't leave that.
Yeah,
I want you to get
appreciate
about
that.
Trying to catch up
no, we're not going to catch up. We're just going to go at the pace that we're going. I think we'll be okay. At the end of the day, I'm still young, so we're good.
Yeah. But at the same time, don't waste time, right? If we can do something, we should do it.
Right.
And keep moving and go forward
as long as we're being intentional. That's the grand word that we need to do. Okay. So again, how did you realize what was needing to be changed, or I think we talked about that. How you had that snap.
Get to all your questions without.
No. You did talk about it though. You did talk about how you came to a realization that we need to change our family dynamic. So that was good. You did, bring that up earlier.
The crowds that I've hung around with my Legal Shield business, the community is strong, and there are a lot of wealth principles that are discussed.
Okay.
And so we talk about legacy, we talk about wealth, we talk about residual income, and we get to hear from those who are doing well with it, and they give us tips like open up an account and tithe 10% and pay yourself 10% and invest 10%, like little things that we could do to build and to start and to go from there. So that I am grateful to Legal Shield. It'll be 22 years this year.
Wow.
That I've been with them, and they helped open up. And my dad was working on some things too.
Okay.
Before he passed, that I really appreciated. He was looking for ways to get ahead, trying to start side businesses and moving in the direction of growth, which I was really proud of him for, and opening up my mind. Like he even joined my business with me and was telling people and giving out cards and doing things. But I'm grateful to Legal Shield because the community and still is a very strong, encouraging, uplifting community where there is room for everybody to grow and be their best without any type of ladder or compare. You don't have to compare because it really is a level playing field, and it's based off of what you're doing, not your race, not your experience in the back, all that stuff. It really, you can go as far and as fast and as high and make as much as you want. There's no ceiling.
That's really good because, some businesses will put pressure on people and they feel like I need to make X amount of dollars because so-and-so is making X amount of dollars. And so that's really good that Legal Shield
great.
you just
so many
go
levels
at
of
your pace.
success, whether someone's just trying, not just, but someone
Yeah.
wants to make just an extra, I keep saying just, someone wants to make an extra
Whatever
a
money.
few $100 or a couple thousand a month,
Yeah.
or they want to build a big legacy.
Yeah.
This is where, if someone were to use the word catch up, this is where someone who may be in their latter years can do something that they can actually leave behind,
Sure.
because Legal Shield allows you to, the business is willable and it doesn't require a license or anything. So they can leave that behind, and they can build, and they can build fast. They don't have to go slowly. Don't let me get into this whole
that's
thing
another
about like how
conversation,
they
but that's
don't
good, though.
discriminate against your
Yeah.
age or you can be younger, older, in the middle. You can have it as a disability. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. They're
You just have
willing
to
to
be
help.
18.
They're willing to help.
But the circle of people is strong, and the environment is strong. They're the first people that taught me not to say bad things about myself to myself.
It sounds like they taught you some leadership skills too.
Oh, girl,
All in
a
this
lot of
lane.
stuff. There's
Yes.
so much. It's very rich. It's great. It's why I've stuck around all these years.
That's amazing.
Sticky.
And being that leader again is
Look
not
at you
easy.
You're such
It's
a good
not easy,
transitioner. Look at you transitioning into the stuff. Sounds like they taught you leadership.
They taught you leadership.
She's bringing
So
in the next topic.
leadership is not easy, but as you hear Letitia, she can break it down to you where you could, take that little piece and build upon it. That's what it sounds like. And you can start from anywhere. You can start, and you can be any age. You can be, as long as you have the drive, you can be a teenager, you can be 9, 10, because there's some kids, man, they are really, really great leaders if you just listen to them and somebody has instilled something in them from them to like speak that way, And so that's really good information, Letitia. So like today's whole legacy, how would you give people practical tips from day one? Today's their first day starting. What would you tell them and how they can start this legacy trail for their loved ones?
I think, as we said earlier today, one of the most important things to do is evaluate where you are right now. Okay. What do I have? What does my family have? What do I want to keep that's already established? And then what are the things that I might want to change? Then what's my role here? Because I'm not my grandma, although I do have some of her jovial ways. Okay, she's 84, 85.
Yes.
She's very jovial. She's a preacher. She's always giving to the community. Shout out to my grandma, Pastor Elsie in Maryland.
Yeah.
Shout out to my mom. Shout out to Aunt Sheila. To my brothers, Alan and Josh, and to my kids.
Yeah,
I am the mother of 3, the wife of 1. I already told you about Deacon Baby. That's Charles. To my pastor, Pastor Randolph. I got a lot of people in my life.
Pastor Randolph, that's your husband?
Brother.
Okay.
Yeah, my husband is Deacon Baby.
Okay, Deacon Baby. Okay.
But just taking so what's my role here? What are the gifts that God has given me?
Yes.
And how can I use those gifts to glorify Him? And then how can I make sure that these gifts don't go to the grave?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Dr. Miles Monroe.
Yes.
He says one of the richest places in the world is the
grave.
In
Yes.
the grave, there are unwritten books, unsung songs, undone projects, not businesses that weren't acted upon because somebody decided to be disobedient.
Yes.
Don't be this person. To be disobedient and not to use the gift that God gave them. They buried it instead, and that's who Jesus in his parable called the wicked person.
The
who
talents.
Thought, I'm just gonna bury this talent. I'm not gonna do it. He's like, you're supposed to take this and do something with it. Even if they took the 1 and turned it into 2, that would have been better than doing nothing. I'm gonna don't bury your talent.
No.
So then you have to just say, what can I do? And it doesn't have to be so like big.
Large.
I'm gonna go change the whole world because every person you talk to is worth thousands of people.
Yes.
So this one podcast today could touch one person who touches millions.
Yes.
So we have to think like that's why I say impact because you sometimes people think, well, my church is growing and I have all these people here, but what's the content of it?
Right.
What's the concentration? If I poured water in and I stirred it, would it be weak?
Right.
Or would we make some good juice?
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes. We want
Because
that.
this conversation today is rich.
Yeah.
It's potent.
Yes.
And it's something that I'm hoping is inspiring someone to say, you know what, I'm going to get up off of my behind,
Yes.
and I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna start writing the book. And so
Yes.
to your point on
That's
how do
right.
you start? You start.
Start. That's it. There's
John
nothing
Maxwell.
to it.
I got to hear John
Oh,
Maxwell live
yes,
and in person.
that's my
once.
guy,
He was
yes.
70 years old at the time that I met him. He's probably 80 now because it was about
He
10
is.
years ago.
Yeah.
I saw him at a conference, a legal show conference. See, they always brings great people like
Okay.
Grant Cardone,
Yeah.
John Maxwell.
You know, I'm a team leader with them.
Oh, I love
Certified
him.
Team, yeah.
I love him. E.T. I mean,
Yes.
we've even had Damon, the guy from Shark Tank, the bald headed black
yes,
guy.
yes,
He's come to our conferences.
Okay.
So I get to hear from this is all the stuff.
Yes.
He said
Information.
he's written over 100 books. And he says he has a yellow legal pad.
Sure does.
See, I'm
Sure
not
does.
telling a lie. A yellow legal pad,
Uh-huh.
and he writes on it
Yes.
with a real pen and
Yes.
real paper. He writes on it every day.
Yes.
He's
every day.
writing something every day.
Yes.
So how do you start? I have an example. How much time do we have? Do we have time for this example?
Yeah, go ahead for the example. Yeah.
I'm a singer. I do a lot of things. I'm a singer. And a few years ago, right during the pandemic, I realized that I hadn't recorded something of my own. I'd been on a recording with my college and one of my friends in college, Shireen, she had done a couple of CDs. I was on one of her CDs.
Okay.
And I was like, I haven't done anything that was just mine. But I was a little afraid. Can you believe I was afraid? I was a little afraid.
Well, start somewhere.
Right? And I was thinking about all the things and here's what stops me, the unknown. Like, how do you do this? How do you do that? I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So God said, call your cousin, who's a producer. My cousin Marcellus, Veteran Beats. Shout out to you.
Oh, thanks.
He knew a lot about the music industry. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to pay him. I'm a good cousin. First
There
cousin.
you go.
I'm going to pay him to consult with me and tell me what it's like and what are the first steps to producing a song. Like, what do I need to set up? What do I need to do? So I could hear all this and satisfy the unknown.
Yes.
I
Okay.
paid him to do that with me. It spent about an hour. Then I have another great guy named Brandon Black of Powerline Music. He is my favorite musician. We vibe well together. Whenever he plays, I sing better, and I think he plays better when I sing. You tell me if I'm wrong, Brandon. And I set up time, and I said, you know what? I'm ready now because I found out what the steps were. So I took the first step and I booked him.
There you go.
And I went and I picked a song. I didn't charge for it. It's on YouTube. It's called My Soul Has Been Anchored. I did a cover.
Oh, yeah.
And because I didn't charge for the cover, I don't have to worry about all the copyright. I called Legal Shield.
Yeah.
And I asked them questions about copyright and what the rules were so I would be in line. So I think that discovery part would be helpful for someone if you're thinking about doing something that you've been waiting on. It could be that you have unknown things in your head.
sure.
Have that conversation with someone. Google could probably even tell you.
Yeah.
And find out what you need to know so you can get started.
Yes.
And so I did it. So I said, you know what? I'm doing this so that I can do it and I could leave a legacy of song behind.
go.
This is now I'm on YouTube with that. Then I have my
Yes.
channel and my speaking and all my stuff is on there so it can be
Amen.
documented and seen.
Yeah.
God forbid if I left tomorrow,
You
I
have
left
legacy.
something here.
Yes. And it's not finance. It's actually more monetary because it's you. You're talking to your
Me.
people.
And if someone says,
Yeah.
and then all my stuff, this is why I'm loud on Facebook and have all
Yeah.
this stuff. If Facebook allows things to keep going,
Right.
there's tons of video. I'm being
Yeah.
silly. I'm being serious. I'm helping people. I'm
Yes.
giving. I will live on
Yes.
because
That's
I
how it's
have
supposed to be.
put tangible things out there.
Yes.
So if you're just starting, you might need to have a conversation with someone to get all your unknowns out of your head.
Yeah.
But you can't go to step 10 before you do step 1.
That's right. That's right.
So I did step 1 and then I
good
got it done.
stuff. That's practical. You can't say you didn't get that information. You got information today. So Letitia has laid out the groundwork for you.
Did you get to finish all your questions?
Yes, we're good. We're good.
I talk so much.
She has summarized the whole entire show. It's been a wonderful show. You've gotten information for years to come. So do not forget this information. If you do, you can always inbox me On YouTube, we have a YouTube channel, Live Courageous. Letitia can answer all your questions because she is full of knowledge. God has given her wisdom and knowledge, and He will give you the same thing. So we really appreciate you being here today, Letitia. It's been a blast, really. We've had
That's
a
great word.
time.
Thank you.
Great time
Yes.
today. And so this is Live Courageous. Again, check us out on YouTube. We do have an Instagram page. Like us on Facebook also. Thank you so much for being here today. I enjoy your company.
Did I surprise you?
Yes, I am amazed. I'm amazed. This is all good. Yes.
Did you think I was going to be bored? You couldn't.
No.
Okay.
Never in a million years. Never in a million years. We accomplished a lot. Again, thank you for listening, and God bless you guys.
God bless you all. Take care. Oh, well, you didn't get to tell them, hey, I'm online as well. I'm on
Okay.
Facebook, Letitia
Tell-
Randolph, Latisha.
There you go.
Randolph. You can follow me. All my stuff is public. I don't hide anything.
And you can answer their questions there then. You can ask her questions.
I'm
there.
also on YouTube, same name. I'm on LinkedIn, same name. TikTok, Tisha
Same.
Mommy.
Tisha Mommy.
Instagram, Tisha Mommy. It's still under Letitia Randolph, though. So those are all my socials. You can
They can find
reach
you
out
everywhere.
there and inbox me, and I'll look and see
Yes.
it eventually.
That's amazing. Thank you again.
Yes.
God bless you guys.